self-defense. There's three areas you need to look at for self-defense. There's the physical aspect. Who is where, what you're doing with your hands, what they're doing, etc., etc. There's the psychological aspect in terms of dealing with adrenaline, dealing with fear, but also people's motivations, understanding people's motivations and seeing what they're thinking as well. And the third thing is the situation, the circumstances, the environment you're in, how this has happened, why it's happening, and also things like, have you got people with you? Are you on your own? Also things past the event. If you work in a certain way, will you get arrested? Will the people come looking for you after? So these areas you have to cover in self-defense. What we're going to look at today is just the physical aspect, but at some point you need to work all these three things in together. People often focus on the physical aspect and leave the other two out. So we're going to work something quite straightforward. The guy's going to kind of push me into the wall, grab me, something this kind of stuff. We're going to work from this sort of position. Okay. So from the physical side of things, the way we like to approach things is I can teach you 5 techniques to do this, to do this, to do this, which is all right if it works exactly this way. If he's got his hands around the other way or something else, then a technique is only so useful. Instead, we look at the principles. One way to approach principles is to look at my options. What can I do from here? The way I see it, I've got 3 things I can do. I can try and escape, I can grab him back, or I can hit him, or kick him, strike him in some way. All right? So let's take the first one. I want to try and escape. Where are the weak points in his structure? Where are the spaces that I can move into? If I try and go straight forward, that's obviously a strong position. I'll try and go back, I've got the wall there. Where are the gaps? Here's a gap in there. I can move through this and come out. There's gaps to the side. Maybe I can escape this way. There's a gap here. Maybe, what if I drop straight down? There's another space there. If I'm working to grab him back, then I have to think, what am I grabbing him for? People often mirror each other, right? He does this, I do this. And nothing is really achieved. Instead, I want to do something. I'm going to look at the weak points in the structure. I can get a lot of control of the head from here. If I come under this point on the elbow, then it's very easy to work against. Plus it gives me access now to this here. The knees are another weak point. I can work against the knees. That brings me in the head again. I can then work to rotate the head. So anywhere I see where there's a weakness in the structure, even if the guy is really tense, it doesn't matter, because you start working the weak point and he's got to go with it. There's little things you can put in, of course, if it's very strong, but, you know, one step at a time. The third thing is, I can start striking him. In a way, this is a very easy situation. Start with something easy, because both his hands are here. I can hit pretty much anywhere, so this is easy. Easy if I know how to hit from here and get a good result. If I need to do this, 2 things. 1, I don't have the space. Second thing is, he lifts his arm up, it's easy. If I've got my hands here and I can hit, then we're working. Or here, and I'll just do this a little bit. Here, then we're working. Or again, I look at his vulnerable areas.
We've all seen his vulnerable areas.
We've all seen those ones. So that's basically it. You think of those 3 things. I can escape and hit at the same time, or grab him and hit. You know, you can combine them, but those are my 3 basic areas, my 3 options. And within those options, I look at it's like a menu, then a sub-menu opens up. Okay? So I'm going to escape, look for the gaps, there's the gap, that's where I go. Now, of course, you don't have time to access it in that way in a real situation, but that's what training's for. Training's to give you this problem to solve. And in this sense, it's easy because there's no pressure. He'll stand there and hold on like that for as long as we're paying for the whole force. And I can stand here and talk for another hour. He's a good lad, isn't he? Obviously, there's other things to put into that. So, we take this information and we put it into our other work. If it's coming in more aggressively or harder or anything else, then that's, you know. The other important thing, however aggressive he is, I don't have to be aggressive, right? A lot of people like to... It makes no difference to your work, except for the fact that it looks better on video, right? It looks more dramatic. I can do better work just very calmly. But, you know, it doesn't look... That's people's perceptions, sometimes. You know, if I put my rage face on, all I'm doing is restricting my movement. Of course, in a video setting, he'll play along. You know, in real, if that happens and they don't play along, you're in a worse position than when you started. So, once you get into the more testing elements of this, with more speed and aggression and everything else, just push me back. Right? You're always working to stay calm in order to be able to apply. Sorry about that. Let's give it a try. For a complete guide to training drills, check out our new book, The 10 Points of Sparring. It's packed with advice on creating and developing sparring drills, structuring training sessions, developing attributes, and creating testing drills and scenarios. Whatever your style, it will add a new dimension to your training. Available in paperback and download from systemafilms.com.